Hey homeschoolers, I'm Melissa Webb, former full-time classroom teacher and homeschool mom turned full-time business CEO and encourager to homeschool families everywhere. I am determined and dedicated to helping you in this journey that you're on. So if you are looking for a place to be encouraged and inspired, you have found the perfect podcast. Homeschooling is a work of heart is truly the perfect place to start. So welcome. Let's jump in. Hello, friend. Hey, this week I hosted our back to school welcome meetings for our Wow Writers Clubhouse. I just love it. It's so fun to meet with the parents and the students. And it's always a great reminder to me that while I love creating the fun writing assignments for the kids, without the kids and their parents, it would literally mean nothing. It's all about the people. So when they get pumped up and they're excited for the new year, I got off of those calls smiling for the rest of the day. It just boosted my energy. It was awesome. And if you were there, you know who you are. Thank you so much. You put a smile on my face. It is a beautiful thing. And I can already tell we are going to have one of our best years together. I just feel it. It's so exciting. Do we still have spots? Some of you are, wait. You have a writing class? I do. Yes, I do this podcast in the hopes of being helpful, inspirational, that positive voice in your ear. But I also teach writing courses. We open up twice a year. We open in the fall. We have a fall enrollment, which closes in September, and then we'll open up again. Well, we'll start our waitlist in December, and then you'll secure your spot in January, and that'll take you through the spring semester. We'll close it in February. So if you're interested, check out our website. That is write, as with a pencil, WRITE, on web, my last name, WEBB.com. All right. Another thing I have to tell you that I love about this time of year and reconnecting with homeschooling parents, it's their candor. It's their frankness. The good ones can admit and will admit when help is needed. And I love that about them. I truly respect it because I'm certainly not perfect. I don't expect that they are perfect. So when they can say, hey, this is an area we need help in, let me tell you what we did last year, and they can even find something funny about it, I can laugh right along with them. But often they do question themselves. And I hear some very familiar, I'm calling them parenting pitfalls, that I'd like to tackle. I have 7 of them that I've written down that I'm going to go over one by one. They're the pitfalls that I commonly see parents fall into the traps of. And my hope is that if one of them speaks to you, maybe more, I would love for you just to chew on it for a while. Journal out some of the thoughts that are going to come up in today's episode. Consider your real life and the examples that you have coming to mind, and then vow to try something new. It's a beautiful thing about teaching is there's always a fresh start. And right now, so many of us are experiencing this fresh start. So let's think positively and jump in ready to have our best year ever. I will tell you, here's the thing. As adults, don't you think we wear many hats, metaphorically speaking, of course? It's true. We do. Let me give you some examples. We wear, as homeschoolers, the teacher's hat. Yes, you're out designing those lesson plans. You're teaching the subjects. You're guiding the academic progress of your kids. That's the teacher's hat. Another hat we wear, the counselor's hat. If you have to provide emotional support for your kids and encouragement, especially if you have multiple children and you have to deal with conflict resolution, yep, you wear a counselor's hat. We all seem to have the chef's hat that we have to pull out several times during the day when we're preparing meals or snacks to fuel the kids and keep them going. There's the administrator's hat. Yep, that's the one we wear when we manage schedules and we're organizing materials and we're keeping records, all of these things. Many times we have to wear the tutor's hat. That's when you have one child who needs some one-on-one instruction, but you have all these other kids that you have that challenge of keeping them busy while you're tutoring the one kiddo. There's the coach's hat. This is where we are motivating and encouraging not just academics and coaching them in that, but we're also coaching them in the extracurriculars. We're keeping them physically active. We're getting them to their practices. There's the nurse's hat, caring for all their health needs, managing those sick days, trying to stay healthy ourselves. This is especially tricky if you have a child that needs insulin shots and things of that nature. There's even the librarian's hat we wear when we're like frantically searching for resources, books we need, material aids, all that sort of thing. There's the field trip planner's hat. Maybe that's the excursion hat. I don't know. What should we call that one? But that's organizing outings and fun experiences that are going to enhance the learning. And then the hat we all love, the disciplinarian's hat. Oh, yeah, that's where you set the boundaries, enforce the rules, and maintain discipline in your house, throughout the home. Phew, it's exhausting. So I just want to point that out. You wear many hats. It's understandable that we can struggle with these parenting pitfalls, as I'm calling them, because there are so many things that we're juggling. There's so many things that you're doing. So as I go over these, the last thing I want today is for you to judge yourself harshly, to think poorly of yourself in any way. Please promise me you're not going to do that. We are in the trenches. I'm in the trenches with you. Once as a parent, but still as a teacher. So just watch yourself. If all of a sudden, as I go through these 7 parenting pitfalls, you feel guilty, I want to remind you, guilt is a feeling created by a thought. And your thought could be, that's me, I do that thing. Hey, that's just recognition. Recognition shouldn't make you feel guilty. It should make you feel aware. It should make you feel curious. So go into this rest of this episode being curious and then getting aware of any of these parenting pitfalls that you can relate to. Okay? Promise me, you're not going to sit and judge yourself. Okay? You're just going to get curious and consider change if you want to change. You may not even want to change some of these, but just be open. Let's just let the truth wash over us, okay? Are you ready? Let's hit it. All right, here are the 7 parenting pitfalls I want to share with you. And I just want you to spend a little time thinking about this. Number 1, it would be the parenting pitfall that I see when parents push too hard too soon. And I will tell you, I will often see this when a parent's first child was, now this is a quote, okay, perfect. We know nobody's perfect. But that first child was so easy, or she just was so quick to grasp all the concepts, right? Then in come the second and the third children making their entrance into the world. Yeah, I have 3 boys. I know of what I speak. So we can so easily expect too much. And we may push too hard and too soon because we're like, your brother was able to do this by this time. We must remember to ease up. I want to encourage you to focus and find the strengths within child number 2 and child number 3 and child number 4, however many you have, and foster those skills while trusting that with time, everyone is going to learn how to read and how to write and how to multiply. They're going to do it at their own rate and their own pace. And that's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong. We're all going to learn with instruction how to read, write, and do arithmetic. It's going to happen. Okay. Parenting pitfall number 2. There are some of you out there that put an overemphasis on perfection. Why do we do this? I can do this too. Again, all of these come from my own personal experience. I think maybe because we homeschool, we add extra additional pressure on ourselves because, we can't be like, our local neighborhood school just isn't cutting it. No, it all goes back to us. And so we really put a lot of pressure on ourselves and we expect our kids to be perfect and to, just be their best, best, best all the time. But here's the thing. No one is ever going to be perfect. It's just not possible. And I want to give you a thought. It's okay to have B level work. Oh, some of you are just cringed. You just cringed. You're like, what? B level work? Yes, it's still above average. I mean, sometimes, yes, we're going for an A or we're not moving forward. Sure. But not always. What's wrong with a strong B? It's above average. You mastered the concept. Let's move on. It's just something I want you to consider. When we tell our children that nothing below an A is acceptable, we are creating their paradigm so that as an adult, they're going to also do what? Expect perfection. So keep that in mind. Talk to them about, hey, this isn't A quality work. This is a B. Look, you got an 88% and we're moving on. I'm good with a B. A B is great. It's above average. Awesome. All right. Parenting pitfall number 3. Some parents get stuck in one learning style and they only teach to that learning style. And I get it because some people have maybe told you, know your child's learning style and teach that way. I don't agree with that. This is maybe more of a philosophical thing. I think all of the learning styles are important and we need to mix it up. And we should be doing all of them, right? So there are 4 main learning styles. And it actually used to be considered 3 when I was in college. It was visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And tactile fell into kinesthetic. But nowadays, they actually separate those 2 out. So I'll give you an example so you kind of get an idea. I don't know about you, but I really love examples. It makes me visualize things much better in my brain. So let's take spelling as the lesson that we're working on. For your child to get visual practice, now remember, all of these learning styles are just different ways that children will process information, right? So visually, they can process what they're learning. Auditorily, they can process what they're learning. Tactile and kinesthetic. So spelling list. For the visual, you could have flashcards with each word on it, right? Visual kids really dig flashcards. You could make a memory game out of the flashcards, which is actually tactile and visual because you're touching the cards. But I think of flashcards as a great visual aid. Okay. Auditory uh, practice or processing is when it's through hearing. And so think of doing a spelling bee. And this, you'll find a lot of kids will increase their spelling ability by doing more spelling bee styles of practicing. So you say to your child, they're not looking at anything. You say, okay, we're learning how, to spell the words that have KN, right? That silent K. So the word is known, KNOWN. And then you teach your child to say the word, spell the word, say the word. And so you tell it first, you say the word is known, KNOWN, known. And then you have them repeat that to you. Some of your kids are going to really love that. That's when you know you have an auditory learner. But it doesn't mean that you only do things through auditory learning. It's just one way. The third way would be tactile. So a great way, that's through touch. So that's like that flashcard, that memory game. One thing that I used to do with our boys for the tactile is, so we'd have our words on the flashcards. The boys would write their words of the week on the flashcard. And then we'd have a day where the tactile practice was to box their words. And I actually have a whole episode on ways to improve spelling, by the way. It's episode 32. So you can go and listen to that after this one if you would like more ideas like these. And then kinesthetic is more through movement. And so something super fun to do is to get outside with some sidewalk chalk, and you can make boxes. And so with the word known, you'd make 5 boxes. You'd put a K, an N, an O, a W, and an N in each word. And the kids would literally jump first on the K. And when they jump into the K box, they say K. And when they jump into the N box, they say N. You get it? I won't go through the whole thing. You get it, right? But they're moving, they're jumping. All of these things help the brain process important information. So it's something worth a try. Make sure that you're teaching more than just one learning style. So maybe this next month, you just pay attention. What learning styles are we using? Just get curious. Okay. The fourth parenting pitfall that I have for you would be having a lack of patience with the progress that your children are making. It's important that any progress is celebrated. Small victories matter. Recognize that the full mastery is going to take time, and waiting until then to celebrate is going to make it feel like a long journey. So find the little things and definitely tell your children, like, this is great. You are making super progress. We're going to get there. Okay. Parenting pitfall number 5, inconsistent practicing. Oh, how many of you are like, oh, she's speaking my language now, right? We were doing so well until ... fill, fill in the rest. I mean, it happens to all of us until we got sick, until, grandma had a heart attack. I mean, these are legit reasons why you become inconsistent. It's always going to happen. So you need to have a plan B and a plan C, because it's not, will something come up this year? Of course something's going to come up this year. It's just important to know that it will, and that you are going to get back on track as quickly as you can. I am a big believer in having some independent learning activities ready to go for your kids. What we would do is, I actually had a whole list that was typed up, that was taped onto a door in our classroom. We used one of our guest rooms as our schoolroom back in the day, and I had these like cupboards above a desk, and I would just tape it up there. And it had lots of ideas that the kids could do by themselves in case I had to take a call, or maybe I had to work one-on-one with one of the other boys. So just have that ready to go. Plan ahead of time so that some kind of learning is always consistently going on. Okay? Okay. Let's see, where are we? Parenting pitfall number 6. Ignoring the power of encouragement. Kind of goes with acknowledging the progress, but I have kind of a fun idea for this one. So I'm a big believer in positive reinforcement. I'm a big believer in upbeat energy in your home. I know from plenty of reading that these things build a child's confidence and also their love for learning. So here's my idea, and I want you to do this. If not today, tomorrow, okay? I want you to get a Post-it note, one for every child. And I want you to write a note on that Post-it note. And I want you to put it somewhere where your child's going to discover it. So maybe inside one child's math textbook. And it can just be, you're doing great. You've got this, babe. I mean, whatever you want to say on that little sticky note, stick it in there. This is so fun. When your kids open it and find that little word of encouragement, it costs no money. It takes very little time. And here's the part that's really amazing. And I know because I speak from experience. I would do this with our boys. Sometimes I would have the Post-it note by their bathroom sink in the morning so that when they got up, it would just say, "We're going to have a great day!" ! Little things like that. But here's the best part. You're literally going to love this. When you have that night, you're so tired, you're so exhausted. You head to bed, you pull back your bed covers, and there on your pillow one of your kids have left you a sweet note on a Post-it. They do this. How they're treated is how they treat others. They'll start leaving Post-it notes for other people in the family. Encourage that. The power of encouragement, it's like magic. So be sure to have plenty of it in your home. All right, last but not least, parenting pitfall number 7, forgetting to have fun. Please promise me you are going to make learning engaging and enjoyable. You're going to integrate games. You're going to find creative activities that are going to maintain interest and enthusiasm in your home. One thing we used to do is we would always leave Friday afternoons, like from 11 a.m. on was Friday fun day. We might have like a few tests and stuff to take in the morning to kind of wrap up the week, finish up some loose ends. But then from 11 on, it was Friday fun day. And what we would do is all week long, if somebody had an idea for what we should do the upcoming Friday, and believe me, kids have lots of great ideas, we would write them down. And we would just keep this ongoing list like, hey, the Storm baseball team is in town this Friday. We should go to a baseball game. We haven't been in a long time. We should get pizza and make a fort and sleep in the living room tonight, for Friday night. We should have our friends over and roast s'mores. We should go to the beach and bring Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, these are real things we did. So just know there are plenty of ideas out there. Don't wait till the last minute. Part of the fun is in the journey, not the destination. The journey is coming up with the ideas. Just coming up with ideas is fun. All right. Are you feeling inspired? I really hope so. My hope is that you have the best year ever. I know you can. I know you can. And by the way, if you like this kind of pep talk episode, I want to let you know I have something even better to offer you this semester. Yes, above and beyond this weekly podcast where all I do is talk to you. Instead, I want you to also talk with me. I don't know if you have heard, but I have a new 5 for 5 video series where I'm going to host 5 live webinars. We're going to record them, but we're going to hang out in live virtual time on Zoom on Fridays, and we're going to chat about all things homeschooling. I already have the agenda laid out for the whole semester, but I will tell you it's not free. Podcast is free. These 5 webinars, not free. You ready? It's going to cost you $5. Get it? 5 for 5. You get 5 webinars, 5 months for $5. That's it. Total, $5 for all 5. Why wouldn't you sign up? That's a great deal. And it's going to be so fun and informative and inspiring. Oh my goodness. You must join us. Okay. Do you promise? Okay. Hey, I hope you have a great week. Right on. Well, thanks so much for tuning in and listening this week. Hey, if this was something that you found valuable, don't forget you want to subscribe or follow so that every time a new episode is dropped, you'll be the first to know. And hey, before you go, if you are looking to get some of this academic writing under your belt and outsourced so that it's one less thing freeing you up to enjoy more time with your family, hey, you're going to want to head over to writeonweb.com to see what kinds of resources and materials I have available for you. I will look forward to seeing you there, and I will look forward to seeing you here in our next episode. Right on.